It's an awakening, Habibi.
Growing up, there was a name the people used to tease me with, and it's Abbas ibn Firnas, or Abbas ibn Firnas. And in our community and culture, that name means failure, to refer you to the guy who attempted flight, the guy who tried to fly but failed. I hated the name growing up as a kid. I couldn't stand it. So anytime anybody mentioned that name, it was unbearable. I've been hearing the word crazy a lot lately in my business, in this podcast that I started, and in this new studio that I made. And it kind of recalled the memory of Abbas ibn Firnas. So I wanted to look deep into it and research a little more. Come to find out, the stories were completely wrong. Welcome to the Bazzi podcast. This one is personal. This scholar, this crazy man that I was teased for being, was a beautiful mind, a brilliant mind, a 19th century polymath, a true Kurdiba scholar that went down in history to be the bravest and one of one. He was a physician, he was an astronomer. He also built this planetarium in his house, with moving stars and moving, planets. He even simulated voices that it made with like a thunder and storms. He invented the water clock, the most accurate one for that time. He was an engineer who figured out how to make crystal clear glass from raw sand, something that was discovered previously by the Romans, but it was a lost method, and he was able to refine. And not only that, in addition to that, the reading glasses that you use today, pretty much, he created the first basis of it, which is the reading stone. It's that stone that you place on a book and it helps you read. It looks like a piece of glass. And then he came up with the most craziest idea they had came across so far. Actually, the one that made people deem him as crazy. He wanted to fly. But he didn't just jump off a cliff. He observed birds, studied them, started making the first flight suit out of wood, silk, and feathers. So at the age of 65, he did it. He gathered a crowd and went to the highest point of Cordoba, and he jumped. He didn't crash. He flew. He flew for 10 minutes. This was 1,000 years ago. He glided. I wonder what that moment was like to him. He was the first human in recorded history to achieve controlled flight. But he made one mistake. He forgot to tail. As he enjoyed that 10-minute flight, it was time for land. So he came down a little too fast and was not able to execute landing properly. And he did crash. Broke his back, hurt a few ribs. And this is the most important part of the story. The crazy, lazy rumors the critics put on him. That he was done. That he died. He actually lived for another 12 years. Yes, he had a broken back and ribs. His health at 65 was pretty much deteriorating. But he also gave another 12 years after that to the world of aviation. And he probably got too old. He probably would have attempted it again. After he passed, there wasn't an attempt to flight for another 1,000 years. The same world that mocked him. The same scared world that mocked him. 1,000 years, there was not an attempt. Till Otto Lilian in Germany, and then the Wright brothers in America. The history books you read gave the Wright brothers all the credit. They even celebrated them as the fathers of flight. Again, I have nothing against the Wright brothers. They had 1,000 years of knowledge to use before they successfully flew. They were builders as well. And they did. The journey started from a crazy man that jumped from the highest point of Cordoba. The Wright brothers should get credit for solving the problem. But to think about it, even after Abbas ibn Firnas attempted flight and he failed, he figured it out right away that he needed a tail. He figured out that landing was an issue. So 1,000-year-old story about a man with wings. What does it have to do with this podcast? What does it have to do with cars? Actually, everything. Abbas ibn Firnas was the first to seriously study and test the principle of flight, and the most important part, aerodynamics. Lift, stability, and control. Those three elements, very important in the car industry. Why do you think those Formula One cars have those massive wings on the back of them? Why do you think that the Lamborghinis are shaped that way, looking darty and sharp on the edges and angles? It's shaped to splice right through the wind. And why does EV cars companies are very obsessed with aerodynamics? It's all aerodynamics. It's all science. It's the science of beating wind. Then you have my car. This is my 1996 Honda Accord. As we would call it in the science community, a brick. So let's do some math. Join me quickly. Let me just grab my so an average car would have a drag of 0.25. That's an average, and a brick on average would have okay, so that would make it a so I would say that's kind of equivalent to 2. So what pretty much I'm trying to say is that the conclusion in this whole situation is that but this does, when it comes to aerodynamic, when it's on the highway, it body slams the wind pretty much compared to like an average car or a sports car. Slides right through that wind. As for this one, not really. The car made, you should see when it hits like 60 miles an hour, it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. But yeah, back to the studio. And this is where it becomes my story. Because that critic's mindset That culture that jumps quickly into mocking someone, that breaks the mold, that hasn't changed at all. It's still there. I've been feeling it my entire life. I saw it with my own father. My father didn't want to follow that typical path of owning a deli. My father highly believed in education. My father was a journalist and he worked for the UN. My father completed college and graduated late in his life, and in a time that nobody has done it before. He was criticized and judged, and people thought he was crazy, that he was wasting his time. But guess what? He did graduate. He did take that path. My father might not have lived long after that, but he proved them wrong. He graduated and worked a job that he was passionate about and wanted to change the world. So many ambitions he had. But he didn't live for long after that. My father passed away a year after he graduated. He never got the chance to enjoy the success that he built or pursue that path. And now I feel it myself. I've worked so hard building my brand. In a time of a struggling economy, I recently relocated, took a gap to readjust and relaunched my brand. Different strategies. And here I am in this new studio, new shop, struggling, trying to keep up with bills. My family is scared. Those who are dear to me are very concerned. In my community, I'm not just whispering. They're shouting out that I've lost it, that I've got too political, that I'm going crazy. They see me trying to build this brand and start this podcast, and all they see is a fool that's failing. And it made me realize that they're misunderstanding. They are flawed. Our community is doomed. It's just a behavior that they always had. Something that we got used to. We had to live with. In the same exact way they judged Abbas ibn Firnas, they're also judging me. And it all comes down to my name. You see, so people call me Bazzi, but my name is Abbas. I share the same name as Abbas ibn Firnas, which means something. In Arabic, the name Abbas means that outcasted lion. But he's an outcast for a reason, that they fear him, that he's different. Something's different about that lion. So Abbas means the lion that all the lions fear. When I started my brand, I couldn't really find anything for a logo. It was typical to, put that car. So I'm like, I should make it a lion. For the first time in my life, I realized what my name really meant. And just like the typical people jump to criticism, they thought that I put a lion just to indicate that I was like the king of the jungle, a sign of arrogance. Not really. Just like Abbas, his name was misunderstood. He was Abbas the failure. Nah, he was Abbas the flyer. And he was Abbas the builder. And the only thing I'm trying to do is build. I'm also building the courage to keep going. In a time where everyone is telling me to fall to the norm, and continue life on life's term, and telling me to quit and drop what I'm doing. Nobody really understands this podcast, this brand. This is me. I'm trying to finish something that my father started. This is where I am. Right on that crossing point. I'm at that point where Abbas ibn Firnas actually crashed and landed in a very aggressive way. Broke his back. So my back is broken. But these moments is really what defines you. Because the critics, the cowards, that undeveloped community, it's just waiting for you to quit. Getting a normal job is what they want. What they don't understand is the mind of the builder. This is not a cry for help. This is a cry for war. A war against a culture that tears builders down. I'm at that point in my life where I'm done being ashamed. I'm done being quiet. I'm proud of my father. I'm proud of my namesake, the crazy inventor. I'm proud of Abbas. Abbas ibn Firnas and my father flew, but they stumbled on landing. But this is an opportunity for me to see the struggles and learn from it. And in their honor, try to achieve my goals. This podcast, this business, and this new studio, this is my tale. This is what's going to make me land safely to my family. To that criticizing community, you're not looking at a fool. You're looking at my father's son, Abbas. And if you're watching this and you're one of those birdies out there, one of those kids that's being abused by his community, you're not a failure. Don't let them tell you you're a failure. Your crazy ideas, your crazy invention, your crazy dream, it might not be recognized now. And it might not be recognized by the people around you. but it'll be recognized one day. True brilliance is forgotten, but never lost. I'll be the proof. The name that I've hated growing up as a kid, it's going to be my mission now. At least one of my missions. So I'm building a petition, and this is why it's not about me. It's about justice. Your heart breaks for Abbas ibn Firnas, a community that left him with an insult. A great man, a great inventor, creator, a man with several trades, a man that changed history. The bravest, I would say. In the city, Dearborn, Spain, they honored him. People that weren't from his community. So it's time to bring honor home. Let's bury these critics. Let's bury this criticizing culture. Let's do this for him, for our best Firnas. Let's do this for our kids, the next generation that will be raised properly, without no criticism. It's time for our community to show kids that we celebrate builders, inventors, successors, and not celebrate criticism. You cowards. Ugh. So I started a petition. So I'm calling Dearborn's City Council in Michigan to honor Abbas ibn Firnas and name a street, a park under his name, a landmark to show our kids that we celebrate a genius. So when they become geniuses, we celebrate them as well. So their efforts are not done for nothing. Abbas ibn Firnas was not a failure. Abbas ibn Firnas flew. I'm going to leave a link in the description for this petition. So I urge you to sign and look into it and share it. It's not going to be done for me. It's not going to be done for you, critics. It's going to be done for the next generation. It's going to be done for Abbas ibn Firnas. Let's end arrogance and criticism from our communities. Thank you for watching the Bazzi podcast.